Hey Coder, so this is just a very quick video to take you through some of the pitfalls I came across when using Next.js in a production scenario. So this week I launched or relaunched Generation 5 of the CryptoWizards.net platform, and this is basically a tool built for traders. In particular, this tool here is looking at two assets and how they diverge and converge so that a trader can go short on one, long on the other. But this video is not about the tool, it's just giving you some context. The problem I had with the launch, and I'm going to show it to you right now, I'm actually going to jump into the code, is here's some Next.js code. So this is my dashboard page over here. So when a member logs in, they essentially come to this page. And I have some get server-side props. By the way, in Next.js 13, this has changed how you do SSR. But this get server-side props basically renders the page from the server. And the reason why I needed that is for authentication. So if you're building a platform that is for members that people are paying, say, a monthly subscription for, annual subscription for, you need to make sure that they're authenticated in order to access whatever it is that you need gated access for. And one of the issues that I came across was the site kept failing. So when I put this into production, because what I usually do is put a site into production, test myself from different browsers and stuff. I might ask a family member to log in, etc., or a friend, or someone to pay with, say, PayPal, and then I refund them just to make sure the production version is working. All of that went fine, right? So the site launched absolutely fine. But the minute that a lot of people started using it, that's when I ran into this issue that I'm going to take you through now, because the site kept crashing and I couldn't work out what it was. What I was having to do is to restart, basically restart the server like continually. If you're using Heroku, you would restart the dynos. That's pretty much what I did. And that fixed the problem. But it didn't fix the problem. It just made it so that people can see the data again. And what the issue really is if the server fails for some unknown reason, and this can happen to you because people do things that you never thought they would do, in a way you never thought they would do them, from a country you might not have even heard of. There's so many reasons why in a production scenario something can fail. And I've found working with Next, I've experienced something I've never really experienced before, and that is a server just collapsing repeatedly. And so I actually luckily found a post online and someone said, here's a few ways to get around it. But whenever you're doing server-side code, wrap it in a try and catch, right? So here I've got a try and catch. And you'll see I've done this basically across the whole API as well. So everywhere where I have an API call as well, I've wrapped those in this try, catch type block. And I've console logged whatever the error is plus catch error page load, right? So here I've got page load, catch error, and now I know if I read out that in the logs, I know exactly what page caused the issue. And so I went through every page and I put this catch error on, and I didn't do a great job of it because I'll give you an example now. Here I'm looking at something called Papertrail. So Papertrail is a free plugin. If you use Heroku as well, it's a free plugin, and it basically records all your logs. And here I've done a search for catch error and I can see it's coming from a page. It's not the catch error page load, it's a different page, and it's to do with the access level. Now I know where that is happening. I know which page that's happening on, and I'm going to go and fix it now. But this is the kind of thing you need to think about when you're putting a website into production with Next.js. Before I used Next.js, but my backend was completely handled by Fast API. I had some server-side rendering, but I never had issues like this. All of my API requests were essentially going to Fast API. There was some that would go through the Next.js API to Fast API. And the reason I moved away from that is latency. User experience is now 100 times better on the new platform, but I would say security and robustness of the server side is not. Like I mentioned in a previous video, I think that the best case scenario is to do something with, say, Django on a back end with some kind of JavaScript on the front end. But when your application is something like this, right? This application is software, right? It works like software, it runs like software. Every page is an app with apps within it. It's a huge application. I mean, it took months and months and months, nearly a year to rebuild just the 5th generation. And this has been 5 years in work, right? So There's a lot going on in this application, so it's very difficult to have all these pages server-side rendered using something like React with Django as a backend. So I just moved to Next. I put my trust in Next. I do think Next is great, but it's just one of those things I wanted to do a video on for anyone who's not really spent much time in a production environment. Anytime you're writing code that's going to be run on the server side, wrap it in a try and catch and monitor those logs and console log that out. Now, for those of you who are more experienced than me, if you have some advice, if there's a way you think I can improve on that, please do let me know. Finally, I did want to say thank you to my first subscriber, King. So King, thank you. It was very exciting to see the first subscriber of this channel. So I typically have a rule. I don't promote a channel to any other channels or emails or whatever until it has at least 100 subscribers. And I don't really post more than 1 or 2 videos unless somebody shows interest, and you did. So I'll send you some crypto. Send me your account address and I'll record a video doing it, and I'll probably do it via code because that'll be fun. And then Anderson as well, thanks for your comments. It actually sounds like you're building a really interesting application here. I know that some of it you might want to keep close to your chest. I'm not sure. I'm quite transparent about everything I'm building, but you might have an idea you want to keep close. To the extent you'd like to share what you're doing, feel free to share. And if I can give any thoughts towards that, etc., I absolutely will. So until the next one, just shut up and code.